Yo, what is up, NPL fans? Shad here, coach of Bayern Mewnich, and welcome to NPL Season 7, Week 6. This week we're up against none other than my very, very good friend Jolt from Toke Minorities, coach of the Toronto Staraptors, and of course, commissioner of the NPL, Mama Jolt. And we've played before. We've played twice. We played in NPL last season, and we played in PPL last season. Both phenomenal games. The NPL game, slightly influenced by hacks. And then the PPL one kind of, but barely, really. Ultimately came down to 50-50. And I lost both of those games. So, third time's the charm. I'm gonna fucking beat Jolt's ass. At least that's the plan. Of course, I highly encourage you to check out his description below. He's one of the best content creators in draft format, without a shadow of a doubt. He's a top tier player. Even though he's not quite as comfortable in Gen 7 as he was in Gen 6, but I think he's slowly but surely really getting back to his old ways, and that's scary because Joel is really fucking good, and on his A game he's one of the people where I would say he's better than me. That being said, our games have been pretty even, and I think this one is going to be another banger because that's just what we do. So I didn't make any transactions for this week, but what I can go over is Jolt's team, and he drafted Jirachi, Terrakion with Z-moves, Crobat, Rotom-Wash, Superior, Cresselia, Goodra, Gramble, Swampert, Zangoose, and Mega Houndoom. So, pretty scary team, pretty, I think, unconventional kind of, but it's definitely a very good team. I actually love it quite a bit, and I wouldn't mind using that because Crobat is there and Jirachi is there, and you know. But so there are two things only that I from the start was like, he's probably not bringing them. Superior, well, it doesn't have a per se a bad matchup. It's not great, and he has, like, everything else is pretty much better than it. So I don't think it's worth bringing and coming up with a set that can actually do well against my team, which is entirely possible because Superior does that. Zangoose is the other one, which I just don't see coming. It's too slow because my team has a good amount of fast things and priority. Plus Skarmory plus Gogeist pretty much makes that thing manageable for my team. So don't think that's coming. The other thing that I don't think is super likely, or the next least likely thing I think, is Swampert, but that could be the changeable Rotom-Wash, so, you know, everything else is completely fair game. I think Terrakion doesn't have a great matchup against me either. However, he could bring it just to check my Mega Kang very effectively, obviously, you know, speeding and just close coming me in the fucking face. But between Skarmory, between Latias, between Nidoqueen, Weavile, Toad taking it, Comfy, Gourgeist, Healers got speeding as well, Floatzel got speeding. It just really doesn't have the greatest of matchups, honestly. For the thing I had to think, did I actually speak? I do. But yeah, it just doesn't have the greatest matchups because Bandit can do a chunk to my team, but then he has to pick the right move, and I have really good stops to both of his stabs. So yeah, that's not great. And setup sets don't work amazingly, so it's a Terrakion. It doesn't have bad matchups, but this is probably not one of the greatest ones. I think other things are more likely. So, with all being said, let's get a team that built. I probably forgot like half the things and that are on there and why they're there. But the first thing is Cordelia the Latias with the Lumberry, which is a pretty interesting item choice. I'll get into in a second. Left of course, Store Power, Hidden Power, Ground, Calm Mind, and Roost with enough speed to outspeed the Terrakion. So, this is my win con. This is hopefully gonna be late game, the thing that gives him the dick. The plan is that I get Cresselia and Rachi and Mega Houndoom weakened or basically dead, would be the preferred option. Himbo Ground is there because it hits his two main psychic resists or stops the Celeste and Jirachi and Mega Houndoom. And then Cress, I plan to toxic with other things and then weaken it down to the point where it's hopefully going to be super duper low, and the only thing it can do is try and throw a Toxic on me while it is toxic, and then with the Lumberry I can, you know, get rid of the Toxic. Bit of a weird idea, but it's just the first thing I came up with, and I was like, fuck it, we'll roll with it. Because I decided that I will not stress so much over teams anymore because it's just not healthy. And yeah, this just seemed like a neat idea. And just in general, Toxic is pretty common. Like Rotom-Wash is probably going to try and Toxic me. If you can get rid of that immediately, then I get a turn for free, and that's pretty nice. And just in general, it's Swampert as well, that kind of thing. And yeah, so weaken stuff, get up hazards, and then win with this would be the preferred way to do it. Another thing that we're bringing is Tharja the Weavile with the Darkinium Z. Darkinium. Isolate Crash, Knockoff, Ice Shot, and Low Kick with enough speed for the Mega Houndoom. Yeah, that one. I have low kick over brick break because brick break, while it does do more to make a Houndoom, low kick Okos to Rakion, and I want to have that option if he does bring it, because that would be neat, because my Latias doesn't have a strong move to actually hit it, so you know, having something can guarantee to revenge kill it would be pretty neat. So Darkin UMZ is basically there so I can punch Cress's dick in. I can do a ton to Rotom Watch if necessary. I can kill it depending. Jirachi helps me with a lot of like Fizz Death Kobarachi. A Darkin UMZ move will plop it after a knockoff. And just in general, I like it. It was a toss up between that and Ice EMZ with Icicle Crash for things like Gramble or Poison EMZ even. Ultimately I decide, or Steel EMZ I guess. Ultimately decided that I think Darkin UMZ is a little better because fucking Crest is a cunt. So, then we have Titania Discovery with the Rocky Helmet, Bravebird, Toxic, Spikes, and Roost. Max defense is pretty straightforward. It's just there to be a Skarmory and Spikes, or set Spikes, I guess. Rocky Helmet, because Rocky Helmet is a good item, and I want damage off on things like Crobat if once you turn around, or just Brave with me, because Crobat is actually a massive problem to my team. I don't have much for it at all. Like I'm fully expecting Bravebird, Roost, Taunt, and then last move can be Super Fang, it can be U-turn, it can be Defog, whatever he wants to. All those make sense, and there are probably other options that I can't think of right now. So he has options, and everyone just dicks me. So I need to see how I can play around Crobat. Definitely need to get my rocks as early as possible, and then just go from there and hope that it doesn't have Defog, which it might honestly. Also, I should mention Mega Houndoom, just kind of sick those on my team. So that's kind of neat. It's not at all. But yeah, Skarm is just there to be a Skarm. That's it. Next up, it's time for the Spice. Oh yeah, it was Sizer-Toad, and that you see correctly, that has a choice scarf. So Water Absorb, Earthquake, Ice Punch, Toxic, and Knockoff. Mega Houndoom beats my team, and this is a cool scarfer for it. It also can check Rachi, can check Terrakion, it can 2-hit KO most Crobat sets with Ice Punch. It can lure in Rotom and Cresselia and get a Toxic off on those. It does a good chunk to Goodra, it helps me weaken Gramble, it does a good chunk to Swampert, and it can help me, another thing, to check Zangoose if that does come. So, yeah, it's it's actually pretty good against teams. Shout out to Baby Eric for suggesting this to me, by the way. Completely forgot about that. This was not my creation. Baby Eric was like, hey, what about Scouts? I was like, huh. Yeah, let's fucking do it. Who cares? It's probably gonna work. Yeah, I'll just see how it works, essentially. Then we have Emerin, the Mega Kangaskhan, with a fancy V-Spread that I don't remember what exactly it does. Actually, I think I do. Return Earthquake, Wish, Protect. I had a lot of things I want to run instead. I wanted to run like Sub-Toxic or just Toxic in general. I wanted to run Power Punch. I think I had Power Punch, Wish, Return Earthquake at some point, which maybe I should have kept that in hindsight, but we'll see. But yeah, this set is just good. Basically, the plan is Toxic things, and then you know, Wish Protect allows me to stall those out. And with the attack investment, I am guaranteed to 2-hit KO the Crobat, the maximum Crobat bulk he can have, which is enough to speed creep my Weavile, I think, or is speed creep Weavile creeping Houndoom? I forget, but essentially it 2-hit kills Crobat. That's the whole point with Return. Earthquake 2-hit kills most Rachi spreads as well, barring like max defense. And everything else doesn't really love Kang. This is a combination with Weavile is really nice because Weavile can knock off the Rocky helmets on things like Cress and Gramble, because Cress can easily take one, just fire off a Moonblast or something to weaken me. And Rotom Wash, you know, those kind of things that can have can easily pack a Rocky helmet against me, and really good in this matchup with a Rocky helmet. Weaver just gets rid of them, and then Kang is like, yo, what up? I got a big cock. So yeah, that's cool. And then last but not least, we do have S-Death, Dino Queen with a Black Sludge, Sheer Force, Earth Power, Thunderbolt, Toxic, and Rock Smack Spadef. This is the only thing on my team that doesn't get absolutely murdered by Mega Houndoom, unless it's in the sun, in which case I do just die. But I do take take 2 neutral Dark Pulse, and I take 1 + 2 1. You know, not both, but you know, either one. And that can be helpful. I can get an Earth Power off, and then to go from there. Get my rocks, Toxic for Cress on the switch and that kind of thing. And Thunderbolt for Crobat and stuff. Yeah, and being neutral against other things, I guess, because it's better than Ice Beam, I guess, by a little bit. Maybe I should have had Sludge Wave, or Ice Beam rather. I don't know, doesn't matter. Spoilers, it doesn't come into play. But yeah, that's team. I'm gonna pause and then get right into this game. Okay, so here's the game. As you can see, Jolt decided to bring Cresselia, Mega Houndoom, Crobat, Jirachi, Gramble, and Swampert. Pretty fat team, as Jolt likes to do. And why my phone just whatever. And yeah, Swampert was one of the things I expected less, but it does make sense. It gives him a rock on it. He probably doesn't want Rachi to be this weak, so that does make sense, and it also helps with Weavile and stuff. Things. Taking a hit from Mega Kang is always nice, and it deals with Nidoqueen. So, yeah, makes sense. You will see if it's Spadef or not. So, I'll just get right into the game. If my laptop wants to, cool. We start off with Skarmory. He leads with Crobat, and I don't like it. I'm gonna see if he's taunt or not by setting up a spike. Turns out he is in fact spikes. He's in fact taunt as I spike, and it's unfortunate. So he's going to take Rocky Helmet Dungeons. I go for the Brave Bird, get some damage off on a thing, and Crobat is low. So that damage from Brave Bird tells me he is a offensive Skyplate set, which is pretty interesting to note. Didn't really expect Skyplate. The item was kind of up in the air. The moveset was fairly straightforward. But Skyplate does make sense. Probably ensures him some chaos that I don't know about. So now I'm gonna go into my Seismitoad here. Hope, because I felt like at this point he would taunt rather than roost, and just roost on the following turn, like taunt prevent me from roosting, and then take a Brave Bird and then roost. But I guess he would risk a crit, so that makes sense. Because if he didn't roost there, Seismitoad could have come in and killed him with Ice Punch from that range. So would have been great, but I'm gonna go for knockoff here, risking gathering the thing item knowing I can take a Brave Bird and reveal my Scarf, and then the chat is like, huh? As you'll see in a hot second, there you go. But yeah, so that's that. Now I can go to my Kang on the roost, and I know that I can 2-hit KO the thing, and I'm just gonna click return. He no longer has a Skyplate, so I can tank the hits. He goes in Crest, and this damage that he's gonna take, he's also gonna be Rocky Helmet. I don't even say it anymore. Just at this point, it's just Kang, At this point, this damage looks like it might be max defense, and throughout the game I will actually not completely find what this set is, and that's a little annoying. So he goes into Gramble as I go into my Skarmory, and I'm gonna get my Spike as he goes to Crobat, and he's gonna reveal in a second here that he is actually a defog variant. So that was the move that was kind of up in the air. Confirmed. I'm going for going to Roost and then Brave Bird, kind of forgetting that I'm at -1 because I'm bad at Pokemon. But as I said, Crobat proves to be a massive fucking annoyance to my team. I'm gonna have to play really well against this thing to actually beat it. So I'm gonna Brave Bird again, and do a clean 3 to the thing. And I think I switch now. Maybe do I? I do. I switch into my Nidoqueen, and knowing I can take any move, I'm just gonna get up my rocks and then go for a Toxic. So get my rocks here. As he starts Calm Minding, and this is bad. He goes for Moonblast, expected maybe with a switch. Nah. Kind of figured he would, so I'll just get a Toxic off. And now Crest is on a timer, and that is really, really nice. So, and my Queen is still at 98%, and that's all hot and spicy. So, what I can do now is go to my Scam, because I take any hit from the thing like it's nothing, so. Excuse me. So, he's gonna take Toxic damage, and I wish I had Taunt here, but wouldn't be fast anyway. He has Rest, so. This is a problem. Because this is the 1 week in my life where I don't bring taunt on anything to a draft game. How does it also this here in chat is just messing around because Joel and I were talking about for the game. But anyway, yeah. He doesn't fix Sleep Talk. So this means this is a more than likely a Rest, Calm Mind, Moonblast, and then Psychic move Cresselia. Which is a problem, because I can't Toxic that. Well, I can, but it doesn't do anything for me. Larius doesn't beat it despite being store power, and everything is sad. So I'm gonna go hard on my Weaver here. Even if he did reveal Sleep Talk out of nowhere, I can take Moonblast at +1. And I'm gonna go for knockoff, get Rift Rocky, which is super nice for my Kang. He goes for Moonblast, and I take one. So now he can easily take another knockoff and just rest up and then switch out. So I figured that he might do that, expecting me to overpredict here, because that's entirely possible. I expect the Gramble to come in and just switch, and he can rest up for free. So I figured, you know what, let's just make the ballsy play here, see what Jolt does, and hope it works, and just go for the Z knockoff. Unfortunately, turns out that that play is not going to get me anywhere, so he just goes hard Gramble, and I waste my Z move. So if I think I ICM Z as I wanted, I don't know if I would have killed Crest, but I probably wouldn't have. But I would have done a Chunklet to Gramble, so sad. But I'm gonna... Okay, so... he's gonna double. There's no way he isn't doubling there on my obvious Scam / Nidoqueen switching. More than likely Scam, realistically. So I'm gonna expect a double. He can actually double into Cress, which would be risky, but would work, and he can rest up for free on both of those, and get his Cress back to full. Because the only way I win at this point is keeping Cress as low as it is right now. As soon as that thing rests up, I'm kind of fucked. Because Weevil, if it's max defense, which at this point, again, I'm not sure, I can't quite tell, has a very, very low chance of 3-hit KOing it, so that's a problem. So, yeah, so basically he's gonna double. There's no way he is just letting his Gramble stay in there as I go into my Scarm and just click Brave Bird or Spikes or whatever. And I'm gonna predict that, go for the Icicle Crash, because if, okay, the reason I click Icicle Crash is that even if he stays in, and I get my prediction wrong, I can get a flinch and nothing happens. Everything is fine. So that just give me a little safety net in case I quote unquote safety net in case my prediction does fail. So I'm looking at Ice Crash. He goes Crobat and that dies, and that's beautiful because Crobat was a huge annoyance. And hashtag not a 6-0. So yeah. So he goes in Rachi. I'm like, okay, here just Cobra Scarf. Let's find out. I'm gonna go to my Kang. I know he can take any hit pretty easily. He goes for Thunderbolt. That is uninvested Thunderbolt, and that does nothing but it paralyzes him. So, uninvested special attack. That Thunderbolt, that para might matter because now Cress outspeeds me. Before, from the range that Cress is going to be at after Stealth Rocks, I can kill it with a return. Now I'm slower, and I can no longer do that because he can just rest up. So that's just a massive problem. I think I could. Yeah, I would be able to kill it after Rocks. So, yeah, that para is actually really annoying, and we'll see if it actually comes into play. So using Gramble, I just click return, want to get damage off on things. He's not staying in with Rachi at this point, and that does not quite kill. He goes on 2, and what I'm going to do here is just throw up a Wish knowing that at speed, but I get paralyzed. So, and as you will see in the second kill, let's go forward. He doesn't kill me with Ice Punch because Kang is fucking fat as shit. So, if I didn't get paralyzed there, I could have wished and protected on the following turn and gotten my Kang back to half. And the following turn I definitely would have switched because there's still a chance he might be hiding the close combat in the back, which would make total sense because I have a Mega Kangaskhan. So I would have my Kang at around half, and that would be pretty neat to have around. But instead, what I think might actually end up being a little better for me is I get up a Wish here on my final turn before I die, as he kills me with the Play Rough, and I can go to my Weavile and get my Weavile back to basically full HP, which is super nice. So I'm going to Weavile and just click Ice Shot because it's the best way to kill the thing without taking damage, and revealing my set properly. So I get my Wish, get back to 88% because fat wishes are cool. He goes to Mega Houndoom. Low Kick does not kill the thing from this range. I think Brick Break wouldn't either. I could be wrong on that because he had some bulk investment. So I'm going to my Toad because I want Toad to die, because that's just a free rest for Cress every time. So, and he misses a Fire Blast, which was a roll to kill. Actually no, he was my special attack, so it wouldn't have killed. Yeah, but what I'm going to do is just click Knock Off, because if he says to say and just kill me, that's fine, and then Toad is gone. But if he goes hard Cress at some point, I should KO it on the switch. So, he goes in Swampert though, which is the better play. And what I'm going to do is just spam Knock Off and let my Seismitoad drop to the Swampert, weaken it a little bit, and Seismitoad goes down. But what I can do now is just go back into Weavile. It's just this recurring theme of Weavile being a fucking god and a massive threat to his team. I'm just going to go for the Knock Off, knock out the Swampert from his range, and it's the third kill for Weavile this game. And all he has left is this Rachi, which I now believe to be Scarf, because from this range it wouldn't really... Or he's either bluffing or he's Scarf, so... because this range wouldn't be really want to take a knockoff. So he goes for U-turn, and this damage. Okay, this is... this damage made me think that this was an expert build Jirachi, because it did that much. It would also make sense because uninvested Thunderbolt doesn't do much to Spit F Scam, and with expert belt it would do the chunk. It would do the chunk and would do the work. The job. That's the word. Would do the job against my Scam. So, yeah. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, probably expert belt he's just been bluffing the fuck out of me this entire time. So that's worth noting for later on. So he's gonna go into his Houndoom. He doesn't know what my Latias set exactly is. He doesn't know what my last move was, so he can't really go into what my moves are. He can't really go into Crest. He's gonna go into Houndoom, knock me out with the Dark Pulse. I have no reason to switch out. Everything would be silly. And now it all comes literally just down to Weavile. I'm gonna go to Weavile. I'm gonna click Low Kick, knock out the Mega Hound. It's 4 kills this game. Weavile is ridiculous.
he's going to Rashi, and okay, so my thinking is that he is a expert that's bluffing, and he's still trying to bluff me, which is silly, and that this is the only way to win because Cress dies. At this point, it might just be my game. So I'm just going to click knockoff and see what happens. It turns out he was actually Scarf, and he just got a higher roll or something, or just miscalced. And goes for Healing Wish, and Cress comes in and gets back to full. And at this point, I lose because I can't get my Weaver back to full. I don't have Wish or Healing Wish anywhere left. If I had Healing Wish on Maladi, that would have been pretty hot, and I could have tried to get that off. But point being, or if I taunt on Scam, that would be absolutely lovely. If it was like a fast taunt Scam, that would be amazing. But you know, hindsight is 2020. But yeah. At this point, my play would probably be logically just to go for the flinch, but I don't actually do that because I'm bad. And I still know what his last move is, and if his last move isn't a psychic move, then I don't know what is, and I can maybe PP stall him out. So, also if I didn't waste my Z move earlier, I could still use that here, bring the thing super duper low. I think it wouldn't kill because it's a fucking Cress. And then, well, I could flinch it and then go for the Z move. I think that would be the more logical way of doing it. But alas, I just go for the knockoff, hoping that he chokes. And he doesn't choke, he just goes for Moonless and kills me. And at this point, I could try PP stall him. We talked about this in chat, as you will see. And I'm gonna just basically the realization is that I cannot PP stall him out, more than likely. Plus, I really didn't have the time to do this because it was really late. I wanted to sleep. Yeah, basically, I will not be able to beat the thing with my last 2 months because I don't have taunt on my Scam. I wish I would, honestly. I would have, but you know. And then yeah, whatever. I just click buttons and he toxics and blah 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 blah. He doesn't even actually tweak kill my Scam guaranteed at +6, as you will see here. Look at that. That's nothing. 42% at +6. Me too. So yeah, that's just. So at this point, at some point, I just after talking Jolt in chat, I was like, I'm just gonna forfeit because I'm not winning this. Yeah, because I wasn't gonna win this, and with the allowance from Jolt, I did forfeit this game. So it's a 1-0 for Jolt because Kress would have won that game, and that would have taken forever. And realistically, there's no point in doing this. So, I guess I could have just sacked my Scam and not clicked Roost, but whatever. This is the easiest and quickest way. Yeah, I wouldn't forfeit it if it wasn't officially allowed by Mr. Jolt from Talk Minorities. So yeah, GG Jolt. That was still a really, really good game, regardless. I almost pulled it out despite not prepping amazingly for Cress. Not gonna lie, and not making a few misplays here and there. Weevil almost pulled it out because Weevil is a god, but didn't quite work. Maybe if he didn't. I think if he didn't paralyze my Kang, I would have had a better chance, and I could have played a little differently because I would have had two things that can actually keep Cress from resting up from the range it's at. So that would have definitely helped me a little bit. I don't know if I would have won, obviously, but would have been preferred if he didn't paralyze me. But then again, if it wasn't for the wish I passed into Weavile, then that wouldn't have been alive anymore at some point. So I don't know. I don't know how it would have gone, but I don't think it made a huge difference in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, we lose, even though I have 2 Pokemon, when he has 1 at the game as the game ends. You know, maybe I should win. But yeah, we lose, and that's okay. It was a great game, and yeah, Cress is a cunt. That's pretty much all there is. If I prepped a little better for Cress, I would have actually won this game, but you know, what can you do? Hindsight's 2020. I guess that's what happens. That's what happens when you don't prep quite as well as you usually do. Yeah, whatever. GG Jolt, definitely. It was a fun game, and I highly encourage you to check him out. And yeah, we're moving on to 2 and 4 -3, which is the differential is pretty good. It's better than the current, I think, number 1 in the other conference. Differential wise, because it's Ape and he's at like -7, despite being I think 4 and 3 or something. It's ridiculous. No, 4 and 3. What week 6? How is he 4 and 3? He's like 3 and something. I don't know. He's number 1. That's the point. Yeah. Next week, we also wait before I do that. Weavile got all 5 kills this game. I just want to point that out. Fucking the god, and also has now more kills than anything else on my team. Number 4 is Kang and Seismitoad, which are tied for 4, which is quite funny. Yeah. So next week we go up against my very good friend Monotui and his 7W6 race. We have played many times before. I've never beaten him. Usually because some bullshit happens that always goes in Mono's favor, except for I think 1 game, maybe 2. PPL Season 4 he definitely just outplayed me, or out-prepped me rather. And yeah, so maybe we can have like a normal game and actually have me win. Oh, that would be lovely, wouldn't it? Yeah, he has Megalovania, he has Toxpex, he's all kinds of dumb shit I don't want to fuck with. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. We need to win because we still have got a decent shot at playoffs, I think. So I'd prefer if we just won, but you know, we'll see. But yeah, it's gonna be it. Thank you for watching. Tell me what you think of the team and the game and the stuff and the things. Make sure to check out all the NPL links in the description below. And with that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. Make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, leave some newts. I will appreciate all 3 of those, and hopefully see you guys next time. Goodbye.